What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another CoD World War II gun guide. Since that last set of weapons is now directly earnable through contracts, I am going through them. I've already covered the KG M21, now we're moving into the LAD machine gun. So the LAD is a Soviet light machine gun that fires a 7.62x25 Tokarev, and in CoD World War II we get a damage profile of 40-30, which means it's going to be a 3 to 4 shot kill, although just like with all of the LMGs in this game, at least within regular multiplayer, it is literally impossible to find a line of sight long enough to drop off to that 4-shot kill, and therefore, as long as you're not shooting through cover, this will always be a 3-shot kill. As for our rate of fire, this is actually identical to the VMG light machine gun at 545 rounds per minute, and with rapid fire we can bump that up to 583 rounds per minute. This means our statistical minimum time to kill is going to be 220 milliseconds, which is very solid. This brings us to headshots, and we get a standard headshot multiplier of 1.1, which means our headshot damage profile is 44-33, and therefore this just means headshots are effectively useless with this gun. Moving on to ranges, as you can see here, just like I said, you are not going to be able to find a line of sight in multiplayer that is long enough to drop off to a 4-shot kill, and in hardcore game modes, this will always be a 1-shot kill unless you're shooting through cover. Our hipfire with this is standard for the LMG category, and pretty much tied with most of the LMGs as you can see there. It's really not that bad. And when it comes to idle sway, as you can see here, there is practically no idle sway with this gun, which is in line with most of the LMGs in this game. Getting into recoil, as you can see here, it doesn't really have a whole lot of recoil, and the recoil that it does have is generally vertical, although every once in a while you will get a shot that jumps a little to the left as well. This is actually very comparable to the VMG 1927 as well. Moving on to magazine capacity, we get a 50-round magazine with 100 in reserve, and if you're using extended mags, the menus are actually wrong. It says you get 75 rounds in a magazine, but you actually get 100 rounds in a magazine with 200 in reserve, which is awesome, and this is a little bit better than the VMG, which only gets that 75-round magazine. As for our reload add time, it's really not too out of the ordinary for LMGs in this game at 4.97 seconds. This is just barely faster than the VMG, but keep in mind it does take quite a long time to reload it. As for our aim down sight time and our sprint out time, both of these are tied for the fastest in the LMG category. Once again, with the VMG, you can see a pattern here. These guns are nearly identical. The LAD moves a little bit slower than the VMG at 92.5%. The VMG gets a 95% movement speed, but our aim down sight stray speed for both of these LMGs is standard for the LMG category at 40%. So those are all the important stats with the LAD machine gun. Like I said, this gun is nearly identical to that VMG 1927. There are very few differences, and the differences that do exist are relatively minor. Although I will say it gets a pretty good leg up with extended mags since you get that 100-round magazine. Although this may be a bug, and it might be intended to have a 75-round magazine, and they just haven't updated that yet, so that could change in the future. But at the end of the day, if you like the VMG 1927, you're probably going to like the LAD. And now that we have all of the important stats covered, let's move into a couple great example classes I have for you guys. This first one is my sort of staple objective-oriented class. With this one, of course, we're using that armored division to combat all of the nade spam in this game. We've got rapid fire, so we can be a little bit more on the aggressive side with this and have a slightly faster time to kill. Extended mags, just because that 100-round magazine is excellent. And quick draw, because you want to be able to snap on a target a little bit faster. As for our basic training, this is going to be scoped, which allows us to strafe faster when we're aiming down sight, which is excellent for gunfights. Our secondary is going to be a 9mm SAP with extended mags, lethal is a sticky grenade, and tactical is a concussion grenade. As for the second class setup I wanted to share with you guys, this one's more so designed for hanging back, locking down lanes, and going on very long streaks, potentially getting some V2 rockets. With this, we're using the infantry division, which gives us that extra attachment, and our attachments are going to be the reflex sight, extended mags, grip, and quick draw. This allows us to be quite accurate and really lock down those long lines of sight. Our basic training is going to be specialist, and with this, we're going to be using hunker, escalation, and then lookout. Our secondary, once again, 9mm SAP with extended mags and high caliber, and our lethal is a sticky with a tactical being a concussion grenade. This particular setup is awesome for the maps that have those longer lines of sight, and I highly recommend that you give it a go. But with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode on the LAD machine gun. As always, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about this LMG? Do you like it a little bit more than the VMG, a little bit less? Just let me know those thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.